Think of the most embarrassing moment of your life. Do you wish you could erase that from history? I know I do. For you. That was embarrassing for you. I know what you're thinking of right now. That was bad. But what if we started making movies where history's just a little different? What I'm talking about here is things like Inglourious Basterds. Will I have to censor that? Yeah, so I like movies where history's different, like the universe is just a little different, and not like the MCU where there's superheroes. I mean, like, things work a little differently there. For instance, in Inglourious Basterds, Hitler wasn't killed in a bunker. Hitler was killed in a theater by a league of revenge-seeking Jewish men, and it was awesome. And it's called sidestep reality, and I like that idea. I like the idea of sidestep reality stuff, and I want to do that again. And if you're going to play the classics, you might as well do Hitler again. So let's do a movie where we can kill Hitler a different way, in a more exciting way. But let's make it a comedy. All right, so let's shift gears to a different thought now. Let's jump into a different thought. Maybe I'll have to reorder these. I don't know where the jumping off point is. So what I want to do is I want to do Weekend at Bernie's with Hitler. I'm genuinely curious. Like, why has there not been another Weekend at Bernie's? Like, why has no one tried to do that again? In the age of like remakes, the two holy grails that haven't been touched are Ferris Bueller and Weekend at Bernie's. And like, of the things that could be remade, I feel like those two are the most primed. Like, there should be a series of movies with people orchestrating dead bodies to do crazy things, right? Like, that's not weird to anyone else. Like, everybody knows it. Like, even if you've never seen Weekend at Bernie's, you know what it's about. Like, you know the premise because it was a classic. Why did no one try to do that again? Is there a series of indie movies that I don't know about that's all about dead bodies being manipulated to look alive? Or is that too niche? Should I not want that? Maybe I need therapy. But all right, let's jump into the pitch here. I feel like that's really the only things I want to pull from these movies is the concept of sidestep reality and Inglourious Basterds, and then the concept of we need to keep this body looking alive for a reason, plot, reason, contrivance. So all right, here's the pitch. There was a group of people working for Hitler, kind of like, analogous to another certain world power and how he got into office. Like, it was kind of more of a really unique series of circumstances. I don't want to get too political on this show, but you know who I'm talking about. Hey, I don't know. So the pitch is Hitler was kind of a dummy. Get it? So he got into power because he had this crew of people working under him that knew how to like manipulate the system. He had the face and the charisma. These people were writing his speeches and getting him going. And then the plan was, how do you make someone forever an icon? You murder him. You turn him into a martyr. So they were going to kill Hitler after he gave this huge speech. And it was going to be like the catalyst to just kind of cement for every Nazi that we need to do this for our martyr leader, Hitler. So in my story, what happens is they go to do a dry run of the assassination 2 weeks before it was supposed to happen. And they accidentally kill him in the dry run. So now they've got this dead body that has to give a speech, and actually has to give a series of speeches. He's going out on tour, and now he's kind of a corpse, and that's not good. So they, being probably like 4 to 5 leads, are kind of like in Rat Race or It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. they're all like kind of vying for power. They know one of them was going to take over, but now the seat's kind of open. Whoever can pull off this crazy thing is going to be the next ruler of Germany and potentially the free world if they conquer the world. And underneath of them, I thought it'd be really fun to have like a cast of like B-level comedians, like the ones that you see on Netflix all the time, and they're kind of like this motley crew that's kind of like putting on the show as they go through this tour of stops. They're the ones that are like setting up the stages, and like they're all like Hitler fanboys, and it would give these comedians a chance to like try out some like racier material, because the setting is they're playing Nazis, so we're allowed to hate them, so we might as well make them really hateable. This is a black comedy. This is the darkest of dark comedies. This is a very easy to misunderstand thing, so I'm trying to explain it very directly. I don't agree with Hitler or the Nazis. That's kind of the point of the movie. To make fun of them, because that's what you want to do. And what better way to do that than a bunch of sight gags of Hitler's dead body getting smacked around and dumped places, and you got to have the one scene where they rig up some kind of contraction to get him to do the Nazi salute, which I won't do here because I am on a green screen and I know what will happen on the internet. I can just talk about it happening. That's fine. This is getting dangerous.
Yeah, you try to like ruin our careers before we even start.
Episode 3, the one where Seth ruins his career. So the idea is every stop that they show up to, one of his lieutenants goes up to give the speech now, and it's building this like fever pitch of excitement within the Nazi ranks, because like Hitler's not giving his own speeches, but he's there. Like we keep seeing him. He's like the paparazzi's getting pictures, so we know he's there. So they think it's building up to something huge, where they have to pull off a second assassination at the end of the movie on a dead body to convince people that Hitler was alive this whole time, but now he's a martyr. That it's all about keeping up a facade, and the comedy would derive from. It's not supposed to work, but because it's a sidestep reality, you, the audience, now don't know how the story's going to end. Are they going to pull this off? Is this going to totally work? Is this how we get into like Iron Skies territory of history? Maybe. I don't know if I'm willing to go that crazy with it. Hitler riding on a T-Rex is a little much. But still funny. Still a good joke. I enjoy that absurdity. Yeah, so that's the pitch. We're doing the Inglourious Bastards, like dark, riffy, let's talk about the Nazis as they were, and then combining it with just kind of like the absurd darkness of Weekend at Bernie's, and we're going to call it Weekend at Hitler's. And Hitler goes on a tour through Europe. That's the reason for this getup as well, and why I'm on the beach right now is because they're not going to just tour around Germany. This is, once the Axis powers have taken over, and now they're going around through like, European villas and things like that. So it's like these guys are all excited to be on vacation with their rock star leader.
Hitler's vacation day on the beach with his family?
Yeah. Wait, did Hitler have a family? Was he married?
Yeah, he is. I think.
This is
I
a
don't know
real.
if he ever officially. I don't know if he did officially marry anyone at any point. I'm pretty sure yes, he did.
This is a reality I don't want to live in. Now I want to sidestep reality.
He has descendants, so.
That's frightening. Yeah. Weekend at Hitler's. So the movies that are banging are Weekend at Bernie's and Inglourious Bastards. This is kind of like this bang is kind of like you're at a high school reunion like 20 years later, and like you have a shot with the hottie that you were into in high school, but now she's like 45, and it's more for just to have the closure than anything. This is an over the pants type hand situation kind of movies that should bang thing. I'm not really taking a lot from either of these movies besides the premise. This is a forced 60 years into the marriage. They just stuck it out for the grandkids at this point. Kind of just, well, I guess we should because we have to kind of banging. I'm sorry. I love both of these movies too, but I really only need like this much from each one to make a movie that I don't know how this has not been made before. Honestly, the point of this is, how have we not had more Weekend at Bernie's style movies? Because that could be hilarious now. I mean, just think about like social media, the way that could be pulled in. Like, you don't even have to do Hitler. You could do Osama bin Laden. That could be super fun. That's the sequel. Actually, I'm just gonna do, this is gonna now a series of movies. We're gonna do Fidel Castro in the sequel, then we're gonna do bin Laden, and then maybe Saddam Hussein, because he got hung, so that could get sight gags in there. This is dark. This is I am uncomfortable with myself. So yeah, this is Movies That Should Bang. Weekend at Hitler's. I hope you liked it. Really, all I want to see is just the sight gags of Hitler like getting his head knocked against stuff accidentally while they're moving him, and just every single. I think the absurdity would drive the physical comedy, and vice versa. If you like this video, leave a comment. Let me know the movies you think should bang. Like this video, please. Subscribe, pretty please. Notification squad, pretty please. There's no non-ironic way to do this part of the videos. I'm contractually obligated to do it because, it's my job. But I don't know. Can I guilt people into clicking that button?
After this? Wait, is anybody left? Are
Right.
still watching?
Yeah. If you're watching this far in, if this pitch was dark enough for you, then you owe me a notification button. Yeah, check out the other videos on the channel. I've got 2 of them up right now about X-Men and Mission Impossible, and then Hellraiser and The Invitation. So, yeah. Bye.
Are you looking for me? I'm looking for someone. Where can you be? Someone.
You know how the show Friends titles their episodes the one with that thing? This is going to be the one where Seth upsets the Jews.